Week 10 of the NFL starts on Friday. Right now in Australia, as this is being filmed, there is a massive internet outage. So this video may be coming out late and may be very tough to get some information for. So it's going to be a little bit different to previous weeks, but let's get into my NFL Week 10 tips. I'm coming off a massive week.
Subscribe to Entertain House.
So last week I got 12 out of 14 tips correct in the NFL head-to-head week 9 picks. Probably my best all season, I think. 12 from 14, massive record. Couple of margins there. The Kansas City Chiefs winning by 7. The Washington Commanders winning by 3 against the Patriots. I think the Eagles I had them by 4, but they went by 5 against the Cowboys. So there's some close games in there too. The Bucks losing right at the end. It was a great game, the Bucks and the Texans there. And the other tip wrong, the Los Angeles Rams, unfortunately. But I don't have my Mahomes jersey. I've got this one this week. And let's get into my picks. Let's talk a little bit about the first game, which is the Carolina Panthers taking on the Chicago Bears. Now, Carolina Panthers were blown out by the Indianapolis Colts last week, whereas the Chicago Bears really gave it to a decent team in the New Orleans Saints. So this could be a tight matchup, but I'm actually going to go the upset here. I'm going to go the Carolina Panthers. Now, I think the Carolina Panthers going into this game have slightly better form, and I know that the Chicago Bears go in as favourites here, but I really like what I've seen from the Carolina Panthers. They got their first win a few weeks ago. So look, I think they'll win by a margin of 1 to 13 points, but I expect the Carolina Panthers to pick up the dub. Next up, you've got the Patriots taking on the Colts. I think the Colts I can't remember who's at home for this one. I've just got the list of what I've got happening here. You know, Patriots, they put in a decent performance against the Washington Commanders, and then the Colts, they were really good against the Carolina Panthers. The Patriots, they haven't had a win since the Buffalo game, and they've had a really, really poor season. So kind of a must-win game for both of these sides, more so for the Colts in their context of the season. I'm actually going to go an upset here. I'm going to do it. I think the Patriots showed me a bit last week, and I think in recent weeks they've been okay. So I think they're going to win. I think it'll be very, very tight, but I'm going to take the New England Patriots to pull off an upset and win by 1 to 13 points. Next up is the 49ers taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I believe this game is a home game at Jacksonville. The 49ers are coming off 3 straight losses going into this game after being Super Bowl favourites. They've dropped into the 3rd pick in people's mind, but they still have a really nice team. As for the Jags, they are absolutely flying right now. One of the best teams to watch in the AFC, and such a dangerous team. I'm actually going to go with the 49ers here. I know they've had, the injury woes, and they've been on a bit of a bad run. I think it will be close, but I do think that the 49ers are going to get the win by 1 to 13 points. Next up, you've got the Ravens taking on the Cleveland Browns. The Ravens absolutely destroyed the Seattle Seahawks in that game the other day. They were clinical. It was the same Ravens we saw against the Detroit Lions. They're very inconsistent, but they're still a very good team right now. And that's why I think that they will beat the Browns by a big score. I have got the Ravens winning this one by 14 plus. Then you've got the Cincinnati Bengals, who are riding this 4-game win streak, taking on the Houston Texans, who really playing well. CJ Stroud, that match-winning drive was massive for them. And I think the Texans are a massive chance of this game. So if I can find a plus 7.5 line for the Texans, I'd be taking that line all day of the week. But ultimately, I think the Bengals should be able to win this game. I'm not absolutely confident here. I was going to go an upset, but the Cincinnati Bengals are going to be my tip. But I do think that they'll win by 1 to 13 points. Next up, you've got the New Orleans Saints taking on the Minnesota Vikings. A great win by the Minnesota Vikings, without Kirk Cousins. Josh Dobbs was playing really well. Addison's been playing great, so they're playing really, really good. And then the New Orleans Saints, they obviously beat the Chicago Bears, went quite down to the wire there. Probably shouldn't have. Everyone will be tipping the Minnesota Vikings here. I can feel it. and, they're paying a really good price to win this. I'm going to be a little bit more realistic here. I think that the Vikings will struggle against a good defense. So I actually have the New Orleans Saints winning this one. I think the Saints are going to win. I think the Saints are going to win by about 1 to 13 points. I just think New Orleans are going to end this good run that Minnesota's been on because I think they are a decent defense. Then you've got the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Green Bay Packers. Now, the Packers obviously beat the Rams by a considerable margin. And then the Steelers, well, they won against the Titans, and they've had a lot more time off going into this game. I'm going to go the Steelers here. I'm going to go the Packers to keep it close, though. I know they have been blown out in some game, but I'll go the Steelers to win by 1 to 13 in this game. The Tennessee Titans taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers played really well. Offense was fantastic in the Texans game the other day. Weren't able to capitalize it, and they slumped to, four straight losses now. And then the Tennessee Titans, they've had a really weird season, but they've never really been, there in this season, especially coming off this loss as well. They're going to be fighting for it. I think they're going to win. I'm going to go the Tennessee Titans here over the Bucs. I think it will be close, but I think Tennessee get it done. I'm going to go Tennessee to win 1 to 13 points. Next up, you've got the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray is expected to return for the Cardinals in a massive boost. But I don't care. I'm taking the Falcons. The Cardinals are woeful right now. Didn't score any points against the Browns and have been awful ever since they beat Dallas. And I am going to go with the Falcons to win in a close-ish game. I think they'll probably win by about 10 points. But I do think the Falcons are going to win this one. Then you've got the Detroit Lions taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers in back-to-back wins now. And then the Lions, this is going to be a close game, but I trust the Lions more. So I think the Lions will win. I think this will be tighter than people think, though. I'm going to go with the Lions to win by 1 to 13 because the Chargers have been hitting some form. They have been against weaker opponents. Let's see a bit of a test here in an NFC opponent. Then you've got the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Washington Commanders. Now, the Commanders, they got the dub just in at New England against the Patriots there. And then the Seahawks were absolutely blown out by the Ravens in that game. Can they bounce back at Lumen Field? I think they can, and I think they can in style. Washington have had a pretty decent season, but this game's going to be a poor performance from Washington, in my opinion. I think the Seattle Seahawks win big here. I'm going Seattle Seahawks to win 14 plus. They're a solid side, and I think they have to bounce back, just like the Lions did a few weeks ago. Then you've got the Dallas Cowboys taking on the New York Giants. Now, this is going to be a bloodbath. Daniel Jones has been ruled out for the season, so you've literally only got Saquon Barkley now within that side. They have no defense. They have no offense. It is absolutely warning bells all over New York, and their season is over. They're going to get blown out here by Dallas. Dallas, played really well against the Eagles, maintained a lead a lot of that game, but got beaten in the end. I'm going to go Dallas to win 14 plus. The last two games for the week, you've got the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the New York Jets. Now, the Jets, they're okay this season. They were on that bit of a run, but a really poor performance against the Chargers overall. Lots of fumbles, so I can't see much going the Jets' way here. I think the Raiders are inconsistent enough, though, that the Raiders do win by 1 to 13, not by a 14 plus margin against the New York Jets. And the last game of the week sees the Bills head to Denver to take on the Denver Broncos. The Buffalo Bills were beaten by Cincinnati in a very tight game that went down to the wire. Ultimately, in this game, I think Denver are actually going to give Buffalo a little bit of a scare. They've been okay in recent weeks, but for the most part, I can't see Denver winning this game. They're not going to get the upset. The Buffalo Bills are going to win by 1 to 13 points. Anyway, guys, that is my tips for Week 10 of the NFL. Some very different picks this week to what I would normally pick. I think I've gone a few safer options, a couple of upsets there. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and let me know your tips in the comments. What game you're most looking forward to? I love getting up for that Germany-Chiefs game the other day, so hopefully the Chiefs get, some more international games. We're the first team now to win in 4 countries, which is absolutely crazy. But yeah, make sure you comment on the video, like the video, and I'll see you guys later.